Jakarta Traffic here. This is a delivery game from Spiel the Game from Simon Schmeider. And this is a game about, well, being in Jakarta and getting around and delivering stuff. But also, don't let your phone run out of battery. Hit too close to home. If it, there's a soundtrack that comes with this that you can listen to the sounds of Jakarta with some, kind of ambient music mixed over that. I did for a while. It was fine. But this is a game in which you're trying to find the optimal path to deliver stuff. Let's take a look. In this game, you have these different tiles out here. You have charging stations, which are triangles. You have delivery spots, each of them, which is marked with a square, and then there's a different type. And then order locations, which are circles, and you have different things that people are ordering. This is going to have to do with this chart over here. These people, these are the different orders or deliveries. Let's say you're dropping someone off at a spot that you're going to have, and this one needs to go to this spot, this one needs to go to this spot, and these three need to go to this spot. Although, as the game progresses, these are going to move up, and these are going to kind of move around like that. Players each have a tile, and at the beginning of your turn, you have two options. You can take a tile on the board, and you can, that nothing's on, and you can rotate that tile. Once you rotate it, you'll put a marker on it to keep someone else from rotating in the future. Or you can take a tile that you have and replace the tile that's out here. Now this is going to change these paths around the board. You have your little motor scooter. So this motor scooter is here at the parking spot triangle. But I can leave from here and go woo, all the way over to this tile. I can go down to these tiles. Or I can leave from this spot and, well, go one spot. So I might want to move this tile because you can see if you move and connect stuff, especially if you get to these outside areas in the board, you can go really far crossing bridges and get to things. Essentially what you're doing is you're moving around the board. You're going to be picking up orders. You're going to be placing these orders on your board. Of course, picking up and dropping off orders requires energy. So if you stay in the same spot as someone else, you can both get energy because you're just chatting. Or you can stop at a recharging station to get them up there. But as you pick up the different orders and you're dropping them off in different spots, you're going to get stars. And once someone has 4 stars, the game's going to end. And then people are going to count up their points. And there's a few other things that are happening here, talking to other players, and there's different modules. But that is essentially it. You're going to have a board that kind of gives you the things that you can do. You can switch tiles or rotate a tile, and then you're going to move around the board. You're going to, there's just various events and things can happen. There's different modules and different pieces that can be played. There's even a pair of dice that you can roll where you're like, I'm just going to detour, and you can roll this, but the problem is you are then stuck at the tile that you go to if you can't find a way to get there, although a 6 lets you go anywhere you want. So that's pretty much it. When someone makes 4 successful deliveries, it's going to trigger the end of the game. You'll count up your points, and whoever has the most is the winner. There's a lot of games that are this, Metro style with all these bands. I don't know why. This one I found amusing. Sometimes I'm like, wow, look, if I take this route here, I go woo, 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 all the way over here. I like that. But the thing is, this game is a pick up and delivery game. There's a bit of chaos in it. You might not realize, but there are ways to change, I might be like, ooh, this is the thing that needs to be delivered over here, and it's going to give me the highest amount of stars, and someone else can mess that up on their turn, change, the value of what needs to go, and sometimes where it needs to go to. What this game's going to come down to is it's a puzzle. On your turn, you're looking at it and saying, okay, I can put this tile I have in my hand out and replace the tile on the board, or I can take a tile and rotate it. You just can't unrotate or move the tile that the last person put out. Fine. That can be very analysis paralysis inducing for many people. Some people are going to stare at this board for a really long time. Take that out of the equation, play with people who are not going to stare at the board a long time, and I find this to be a game that I liked. I found the theme to be endearing. I like the idea that you spend, phone charges, and at some point, you got to go charge your phone. I like the idea of going around and following these paths through the city. The city changes. There's a nighttime side. There's 6 little modules with police and fire departments and things like that. I don't think you need. I think the base game is fine. It looks like a fairly complicated game with the symbology. That's probably a little ding against the game. But at the end of the day, it's how do I get from point A to point B the most efficiently? Can I do it right now, or do I take a turn here and the next turn go there? And then even then rolling the dice to decide where to put something, I think works really well. It's good quality. This does not look like a game that you're just going to find a very small print run of. I mean, it looks, when I met the folks making it, seems small, but it has the look of a well-produced game. It's a theme that's not talked about a ton, and I found it to be enjoyable. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. That's Jakarta Traffic.